I think MJ is 1, Kobe is 2, and LeBron is 3. Because
Finally, someone agrees with me.
I tell people that I don't think MJ had a flaw in his game. You say people say, well, he didn't shoot threes. He could shoot threes when he wanted to shoot threes. He didn't need to shoot threes because you couldn't stop him going to the hole.
In the long, fiery history of NBA debates, one question always refuses to die. Who is the GOAT? The greatest of all time. It's more than a sports argument. It's a cultural storm. From barbershops buzzing on street corners to the echoing studios of ESPN, from the fading murals in Chicago to the endless comment wars online, everyone has a hero to praise and a rival to tear down. But every so often, in the middle of that chaos, one voice cuts through the noise. A voice that doesn't yell or perform. It just speaks, and the basketball world falls silent. That voice belongs to Robert Horry. Big Shot Rob is the man who could end dynasties with a single shot. The silent assassin with 7 NBA championship rings. More than Jordan, more than Kobe, more than LeBron. Horry never needed flashy stats or MVP trophies. He earned his legacy on the hardest stage there is, thriving in the moments when pressure broke everyone else. And when a man who's shared locker rooms with legends like Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, and Tim Duncan speaks, you listen. Because Robert Horry didn't just witness greatness. He survived alongside it. He didn't just see greatness. He lived it. He battled beside it. He held it in his hands. And when a man like that speaks, the noise fades and the room goes still. Robert Horry doesn't sugarcoat, doesn't pander, and definitely doesn't play politics. He's a warrior forged in the fires of dynasties, and he speaks with the calm authority of someone who's been there. MJ is number 1. Kobe is number 2. LeBron is number 3. Just 3 short sentences, but they landed like thunderclaps, shaking the entire basketball world. Because this wasn't a fan's opinion or a TV soundbite designed for clicks. It was truth, spoken by a man who's been in the trenches with legends. Robert Horry, the owner of 7 championship rings, more than Jordan, Kobe, or LeBron, has witnessed every era of greatness up close. He's shared locker rooms with gods of the game and seen what true dominance looks like. And even with all his own glory, Horry bows his head and admits, only one man stands alone at the top. When Robert Horry names Michael Jordan as the greatest, it's not a debate, it's a verdict. The final buzzer of basketball's ultimate argument. Jordan isn't just the standard, he's the summit, the absolute pinnacle of the game. Michael Jordan, absolute perfection. No cracks, no weaknesses, no flaws. And when Robert Horry says that, it carries weight. This isn't coming from a fan or a pundit. It's coming from a man who shared locker rooms with legends. Horry played alongside Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, and Tim Duncan, the very definition of basketball immortality. He knows exactly what greatness looks like, feels like, and demands in the heat of battle. That's why his words cut through all the noise like a blade. Michael Jordan didn't have a flaw in his game. At first, it sounds simple, almost obvious. But pause and compare, and you'll realize why that single statement rocked the basketball world. Shaquille O'Neal, a dominant force, an unstoppable presence in the paint. Yet his kryptonite was obvious, free throws. Teams literally designed defenses around his weakness. Shaq, Kobe Bryant, nearly a mirror image of Jordan, the closest anyone ever came. But as Horry pointed out, even Kobe had one small vulnerability, post-defense. Smart, physical forwards could find ways to test him there. And then there's LeBron James, a generational athlete, a marvel of power and longevity. But even he has glaring flaws. Missed free throws in big moments. Hesitation in the clutch. Games that slipped away when the pressure hit hardest. Jordan, none of that. No weakness to attack. No fear to exploit. That's what makes Horry's verdict so devastatingly clear. While others had cracks in their armor, Jordan's game was bulletproof, decision-making under pressure. That's where LeBron often falters. Too many moments where he hesitates, where he looks to pass instead of taking the shot himself. It's as if he hands away destiny instead of claiming it. 10 trips to the finals, 6 defeats. Greatness? Absolutely. Perfection? Never. And then, there's Michael Jordan. Pull up the film. Study every stat, every angle, every possession. You won't find a weakness, because there isn't one. Critics once said he wasn't a great three-point shooter. But that's a myth. Jordan could knock down threes when he wanted to. He just didn't need to. Why? Because he was already dismantling defenses from everywhere else. His mid-range fadeaway, pure poetry and certain death for defenders. His drives, explosions of control and power, finishing with either hand, against any big man, from any angle. Jordan didn't live by the three because he didn't have to. His entire arsenal was already lethal. And here's where LeBron fans fall quiet. Jordan didn't just dominate on offense, he was a nightmare on the other end too. 10 scoring titles. 9 all-defensive first-team selections. Defensive Player of the Year in 1988. LeBron never earned that honor. Jordan averaged over 30 points for his career while guarding the toughest players every night. LeBron has his iconic chase-down blocks. Jordan had entire seasons of defensive dominance. One played defense in moments, the other lived it, every possession. Jordan built an entire career on defensive dominance, relentless, calculated, and complete. LeBron offers versatility. Jordan offered perfection. No gaps, no cracks, no flaws. Put them side by side, and the truth becomes undeniable and brutal. Against Jordan, there was no force him left, no exploit the mismatch, no attack his weak spot. There was no blueprint. You couldn't scheme against him, you could only hope to survive him. Against LeBron, there always were. The Spurs in 2007 built a wall and dared him to shoot. The Mavericks in 2011 exposed his hesitation, handing him the worst finals performance of his career. The Warriors picked at his free throws, his uncertainty, his moments of doubt under the brightest lights. Jordan? He was a steel wall, flawless, unbreakable, untouchable. LeBron, a monument of greatness, immense, historic, but fractured when the pressure peaks. And that's why Robert Horry, a man with 7 championship rings, more than Jordan, Kobe, or LeBron, still bows his head and calls it as it is. Michael Jordan is number one. No flaws. No cracks. Nothing you could exploit. Even Kobe had one small imperfection. Jordan had none. LeBron's flaws are larger, more visible. But Michael Jordan, he's the blueprint, the gold standard of basketball perfection. Every generation since has tried to replicate him, but none have truly succeeded. And then there was Kobe Bryant, almost perfect, the closest the basketball world ever came to Jordan's divine precision. His footwork was surgical, carved straight from Jordan's playbook and hardened through thousands of sunrise workouts. His fadeaway, elegant, ruthless, could silence entire arenas. His mentality was pure obsession, a relentless pursuit to eliminate weakness in himself and destroy it in his opponents. Kobe wasn't just great. He was engineered greatness, built from discipline, molded by pain, driven by an insatiable hunger to be flawless. But even perfection's shadow has a crack. As Robert Horry revealed, a man who fought alongside him through championship wars, even Kobe had one subtle weakness. Kobe couldn't play post-defense, Horry admitted. That's why guys like Bonzi Wells gave him trouble. It wasn't his offense. It wasn't his will. It was that one small detail on defense, invisible to fans, but clear to a man who stood right beside him in battle. Think about that for a second. Kobe Bryant, the man who lived in the gym, who dissected the game like a scientist and perfected every move with obsessive precision, still had one weakness.